Would Ben Simmons make sense for the Warriors?
I don't know. People that are smarter than me can't even figure this out. Ben Simmons needs to leave the Sixers. He told them that he's not going to report to training camp and that he wants a trade. He indicated that he might want to go to California, which, I mean, of all the states, a lot of people do want to go to California. Here's where we're at. The Warriors apparently have the best odds to be the team to get Ben Simmons. The issue with this trade, and we're going to talk this to death until I guess the season starts, and maybe even until the season's halfway over, is that the position that the Sixers are in is that Ben Simmons is not looking more attractive and is not going to look more attractive between now and when he potentially plays or doesn't play. Until the season starts, there's really no new data. We're just kind of rehashing this same conversation. And so teams are not quite incentivized to try to pony up and trade exactly what the Sixers want in exchange for Ben Simmons. Now, we know that Daryl Morey reached out to the Warriors before the draft and asked for a king's ransom for Ben Simmons, to which they were like, no, definitely no. And so there's probably no chance that they're going to be able to meet what it is the Sixers want, and they're going to have to lower their expectations. The question is, does it make sense for the Warriors? And as long as Draymond Green is there, not shooting from the perimeter, I don't know if adding another guy like that to your team is necessarily the right move. And so I guess we will see what happened. Do you think I'm going to have a definitive answer for this question? I think it probably won't happen. It doesn't seem likely to happen. It doesn't seem like anybody needs it to happen except Ben Simmons and the Sixers.
Yeah, this has really big, like, you can't fire me, I quit energy. To your point, I think people are landing at the Warriors because if you take all of the California teams, by the way, there are 4, but we all know he doesn't want to go to Sacramento. The Lakers, obviously, what are they going to do? They're going to trade Russell Westbrook away for Ben Simmons. That's not going to happen. The Clippers went all in on 3-point shooting last year. That's not exactly Ben Simmons' strong suit, but they're going to tempt fate and do that there. So they've landed at the Warriors because it could be interesting, obviously. He's got a lot of defensive skill. He's a transition guy. You could imagine him with Steph in some kind of way. The problem with the Warriors is you don't know who Clay is going to be, and you really would have to get rid of some of your young guys and some future draft picks, of which you have the capital to make it happen. So you'd have to be all in on winning this year, and you don't know how Clay is going to be. But the biggest wrinkle in all this is exactly what you said, Katie. It's the immediacy of what we remember from Ben Simmons. Can you imagine if, like, in the days after we found out that Tristan Thompson cheated on pregnant Khloe Kardashian, he like approached ABC and was like, you know what? All right, guys, I'll come on The Bachelor. What are you talking about? The indelible image of you is that you are a POS. No one wants to see that. So all anyone can imagine at this point is Ben Simmons choking on a national stage, on a world stage, and missing a bunny. The idea that he thinks he has the leverage to sit back and say, I'm not playing for you anymore, is just, it's the kind of chutzpah I wish I had.
I just want to say I'd love to see Tristan Thompson on The Bachelor.
Oh my God.
Just want to throw that out there. It'd be very entertaining. And so would, by the way, be Ben Simmons on the Warriors. It would be very entertaining. The question was, does this make sense for Golden State? And while it is a little tricky having him next to Draymond, who shoots like he's wearing a backpack, whereas Ben Simmons is just wearing the backpack, I think they could make it work. The problem is the Sixers side of things, or what the Sixers would hypothetically get from Golden State, which would not be the king's ransom they asked for. It would probably be some young players and draft picks, and the Sixers don't need young players and draft picks. They need to win now, and I think that's why this is so complicated, why it's hard to come up with a trade that works for the Sixers with any team, because you've got a team in Philadelphia that wants to win now trying to trade a superstar. There's a reason why that doesn't happen very often. Typically, when teams are trying to trade stars, it's because they suck. And they know they suck, but the Sixers do not suck. And so it wouldn't make sense for them to trade Ben Simmons for something they need in the future when they're trying to win in the present. That's why I think this is going to drag out for a really long time, because it's really hard to come up with a trade that makes sense for them between Golden State or any team.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.